Hey there, this is Christy. Welcome to my channel, The Bold Move Makers. I'm excited to start a new series with you. And many of you may not be aware, but I wrote a book a little over a year and a half ago, and it was really a series of years of dealing with toxic people, toxic bosses, toxic workplaces that drove me to write this book. And years I've been collecting stories and examples from friends, from family, and from things that I've witnessed, that I decided to put the wisdom and the years of training leadership and teaching leaders how to create environments where people thrive, where they want to come to work, and where people can be happy and have joy. Because I do believe in my heart that it's possible to have joy at work. And so the book is called From a Workplace Hell to Well, and it's transforming toxic cultures into a culture of wow. And if you think about the word wow, it really is just a feeling. It's not, a system or a process. It's understanding that you have a personal responsibility for how you show up and how you treat your employees, how you treat yourself, and more than that, how you get results. How do you shift and change when other people aren't changing? Because the one thing that you know is that you can't change a person. You can't change how they act. You can't even change sometimes your own personal self in certain situations if you're not self-aware and you're not using that self-control. So I wrote this book to help people who are struggling, not only in their workplace, but also in life in general. And so I want to read you from a little excerpt from the chapter in my book, and it's The Toxic Boss. And it's all about how I survived and escaped The Devil Wears Prada. That's the name of chapter 2. Now, I am going to encourage you at the end. This book is on Amazon. You can get it in Barnes and Nobles. But I want to read you an excerpt so you understand the power of what it is that I want you to understand about these toxic cultures. So I'm going to read. She was the boss from hell, and everyone knew it. She was the vice president of global operations expansion at a Fortune 500 company, and I was her manager. Let's just give her the nickname She Who Shall Not Be Named, as any kind of way to describe her character. She reminded me of that character Miranda in the movie The Devil Wears Prada. And in many ways, she treated me and my team like dirt. She was abusive, manipulative, and unreasonable. She never gave any of us validation, coaching, or feedback. And she only cared about herself and her own success. She made us work long hours with constant travel, little work-life balance, and she constantly undermined my abilities and demeaned me in front of our clients, cutting me off during meetings and undermining my decision making. She was the source of my stress, depression, and tears. She was the reason I had to take medication to cope. I wanted to quit many times, but I couldn't. I had a family to support, small kids, and loved my job, loved my colleagues and my clients. I had worked hard to get where I was, and I didn't want to give up. I had a decent salary, benefits, and seniority. I hoped that things would get better, or that she would change or leave. That's the start to this chapter. Now, I want you to consider, have you ever been in a position where you've worked or you've seen a leader or a boss that has treated you this way, has treated maybe your friends this way, or you've heard people tell stories of it? Now, I want to save it for part 2 so you can learn all about what happens with this Devil Wears Prada boss. And I also want you to get a copy of my book and read along with me so that we can learn how do we transform toxic workplace culture into a culture of wow. Again, I'm so excited for you to go on this journey. This is one of many. My name is Christy, and thank you for joining. Talk to you later.